Now, listen, you guys, Charlemagne is out there folding after, of course, realizing how his counterpart, his hating counterpart, Ebro, is being cooked on X. Today, his tone was a little bit different, and it seems like the ladies of the Breakfast Club clearly feel some type of way about what Kai had to say, and we will be talking about Kai Cenat setting himself up. I did say that in my previous video, and we were supposed to talk about that, and we're also going to be discussing about Rihanna bringing out her kids to support her baby daddy, and NFL allegedly is out there issuing an apology to Lil Wayne. Now these are some of the things that we will be discussing in this video. Hello tea lovers and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great. You guys, I am doing extremely amazing, and without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So first of all, let us talk about this entire situation with Rihanna. Now, you guys do know that Rihanna's baby daddy, ASAP Rocky, has got an ongoing case. It seems like Rihanna decided to take out the kids to show up, in support and solidarity with her baby daddy. So, of course, this was received with mixed feelings, with some people feeling like, well, why bring the kids into it? Why bring the kids to the court and stuff like that? And other people are applauding her, saying that, well, kudos to you for supporting your man, in doing this. Now, I will say that she's not the first person to actually pull this stunt, or I don't know if I should call it a stunt or a move, but she's not the first person to do that. I mean, for the longest of time, people have used that entire family unit notion, family unit thing, or I've got kids to take care of. They have used that really to try and also make the judges, sympathize with them and stuff like that. So I don't think that it's unexpected for her to pull a stunt, like a move like this. I don't want to call it a stunt because stunt has like a negative connotation to it. So I would say it's not really out of this world for her to pull a move like this if it's going to help her father's children, in my own opinion. But people were now bringing up the situation of Tory Lanez, saying that, well, people now are feeling sorry for Rihanna and saying that, oh my goodness, we are supporting you, we fall for you and your family, but they didn't have the same energy when it came to Tory Lanez. Now, I will say, and I will acknowledge that, well, when it comes to the ASAP Rocky situation, obviously, you can tell that he does have the media on his side. I mean, the mainstream platforms that I'm always talking about, even the coverage is a little different when you look at it. If had it been another woman's husband, obviously it would have been a little bit different, but I guess because of the ties to the fraudulent nation and the media, he does have the support. But on this one, honestly, I feel like the reason why the reception is different between the Tory Lanez situation and the ASAP Rocky situation is the Tory Lanez situation has got some GBV elements to it. I mean, gender-based, elements to it. So obviously it's going to be received differently. I mean, if you're going to come out here and put your hands on a woman, that in itself is shameless, okay? Now, when weapons are involved, of course, people are going to look at you crazy. But when it comes to ASAP Rocky, it was men on men. So by virtue of that, obviously, it's going to be viewed differently. So I do get why people may seem or may appear to be more lenient towards ASAP Rocky than towards Tory Lanez. I'm not dismissing the fact that the media is on ASAP Rocky's side and that there is a little bit of bias in the media when it comes to this. But at the same time, the two cases, in my own opinion, are a little bit different because of the gender element, in my own opinion. And so I guess this is the reason why they're able to sympathize with Rihanna bringing the kids in the situation when they were calling out Tory Lanez for bringing, children in this situation. So let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this entire situation. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, Kai Cenat. Kai, how many times did I call you? Like, I saw this coming, okay? Kai, you cannot be streaming, you cannot be getting access to the Grammys, exchanging numbers with Jay-Z, and then you turn around and start saying that the Super Bowl was out here adding, crowd effects to Kendrick Lamar's performance. Like, how dare you do that? How could you do that? Because now people are calling you messy. This is very interesting to watch, you guys. So you guys know that Kai attended the Super Bowl. So when he was reviewing the performance and stuff like that, he was like, "Oh wow, I didn't realize that they were adding these people actually add crowd effects to the performance." And he was like, "I was there, and this is not what the crowd was sounding like." Okay. And of course, it went viral. Everybody was commenting on it. Everybody was calling out, Kendrick Lamar, saying that, you see, the people don't even love you. The people don't even make that much noise for you. You guys had to edit and stuff like that. And I'm just asking, is it Kendrick Lamar who added the effects, or did the Super Bowl do it? Did the NFL do it? Did the NFL people responsible for, the production of the halftime show, edit? Okay, is it Kendrick who added this entire situation? I don't think so. Okay, if anything, it's the people who are behind the production. And I don't know if they only did it for Kendrick or if they've done it for every other person who has performed at the halftime show. So for this one, I don't think that it's got anything to do with Kendrick, honestly. It is the production team. However, it went viral. It was a gotcha moment, obviously, for those people that also don't support Kendrick. And it became a big, huge conversation. And I am telling you, don't be shocked if Kai Cenat comes back, apologizes, or retracts whatever he said, because this is the same guy who exchanged contacts with Jay-Z. And right now, it's not working to Jay-Z's favor if you're coming out here and saying that Kendrick is not getting received as they are portraying it to be on the internet. Definitely, that's not going to make Jay-Z happy. And Jay-Z has your number right now. So do not act surprised if he calls you. And you guys do not act surprised if Kai Cenat comes back apologizing or changing the tune. Do not be shocked. Times like this shall befall us. But anyway, you guys, after that, the Breakfast Club decided to discuss about this. And what I can tell you is Charlemagne the God saw everything that went down on Twitter last night when it comes to Ebro. I believe Charlemagne watched Ebro's broadcast and realized how ridiculous they sometimes sound. I mean, it's okay to have an opinion, but if you have like major platforms, if you work for Apple, if you're like a representative of the genre at corporates and stuff like that, and you come on the internet discussing and fantasizing about Drake unaliving himself. Like, guys, was that not weird? Rosenberg and Ebro, you guys, they were making up scenarios in their heads. And they were saying that, well, if Drake unalives himself, who would be liable? And I'm like, when did we get to this point? Why are grown men fantasizing over another man taking his own, Like, what is this? That was ridiculous. That segment was ridiculous. And I do know that Ebro, looking back, is probably embarrassed and ashamed. Because that was so cringeworthy. He didn't even realize it himself. So I believe Charlemagne beforehand watched this and he was like, listen, I'm not going to be part of this. I'm not going to be embarrassing myself like this, because his tone when it came to the Kai Cenat situation was a little different. It was different, I will tell you that. So the ladies of the Breakfast Club, obviously Lauren and Jess, decided to discuss about this, and they were saying that, well, Kai Cenat was being messy for saying this, and they were basically criticizing him for saying that, and they were saying that he got paid to say that, or he got salty because the TDE team wouldn't allow him to be in their suite. This is the narrative that they are now going with. And Lauren, I do credit her. A lot of times she does go and do some digging. So according to Lauren, she got in contact with somebody from TDE, and they were telling her that Kai is only saying that because, well, we denied for him to be in our suite. Which I find very interesting, because throughout the rap battle, Kai has been giving his opinion, and he did admit that, well, he feels like Kendrick did win the rap battle, and they didn't have a problem with him expressing his opinion like that. They didn't call him messy because it was going with the narrative that they want. But the 1 minute that Kai says something that may allude to Kendrick not being as popular to the crowd that he was performing for, all of a sudden, Kai is messy. All of a sudden, Kai is getting paid. All of a sudden, how dare you? You are shameless for saying that. How dare, like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to a point where even Charlemagne's Drake hate couldn't allow him to go with that narrative, because it would have been embarrassing and ridiculous. Okay. I will insert what Charlemagne had to say, and I will insert what the ladies had to say. And even Jess Hilarious calling someone messy is very interesting to me. Like, Jess, do you have a mirror at home? Like, imagine Jess Hilarious calling Kai Cenat messy. Like, Kai messy from Jess? That's appalling. That's flabbergasting. That's rather shocking. That's rather bold of you, Jess, to say that. To call Kai messy. You, Jess? If it was Lauren, I probably would understand. Jess hilarious. Oh my God, the jokes really do write themselves. This time, Charlemagne had to check them. But of course, at the end of the video, they had to emphasize that, oh my God, Kendrick is winning. Oh my God, he's got the #1 album. Oh my God, his numbers are like this. And I've been seeing a lot of, updates when it comes to the statistics and the numbers and stuff like that. One person who has something to say about that is Akademiks, who will touch on that as well. But yeah, let me just insert what the Breakfast Club had to say, and then I'll catch you after that.
They're not like us.
They're buying them bootcut jeans because of Kendrick. I know that's right. But the Super Bowl though has also, people are still reviewing it.
I bought a pair for Bay.
For who?
Bay.
The Celine.
Your wife?
You bought a pair to Celine.
Who, Clue?
You.
No, yeah, I'm not your bae. Shout out to Clue. Shout out to DJ Clue.
You.
He was in here looking at them photos crazy when Kendrick had them jeans on too. Maybe that's why he wanted you to get them.
Charlemagne was definitely looking at them photos. He was all into them. That's why he got a wax yesterday.
So yesterday Kai Cenat, because he was at the Super Bowl, he dropped his review of the Super Bowl, and I was surprised how honest he was, but it's kind of sparked a little backlash. Let's take a listen.
Oh my God, they add sound effects to the NFL. Oh my God. All right, so right here there was no sound. I just heard crowd sounds. All my life right here, there was no sounds. They add crowd effects? I did not know that. I was there. The loudest times that they made, the loudest time that the crowds did was, I think, him being shown for the first time, SZA, Samuel Jackson being shown for the first time, and then They Not Like Us. But one thing I will say though, although the vibes was not good, bro, they were just not the performance, like up until They Not Like Us. But what I will say is the symbolism behind that performance was top tier.
Why are you shocked by that? Like, why are you shocked by him being honest?
Because I feel like a lot of times when people get to the point where he's at, they try and play favorites. So to get on there and tell the truth like that, if that's what he saw.
Kai got there by doing exactly what he's doing right there, by giving reviews.
I agree, but when people get to that point,
confused about it though.
Why was you confused?
I was a little confused about it though. Like, because it was just, that's an example of like when you just see a clip of something. I'm like, all right, what is he doing this for? Like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like a little.
He giving his opinion just like you do.
Was was messy. Yeah, all right, and I'm giving my opinion about his opinion. I thought, like, at first when I saw it, I thought it was a little messy. Like, what you mean? Like,
why is that messy?
Because clearly, if I said at first I thought it was messy. Because of how he had said it, like, oh, the crowd was quiet here. They was not effing with the performance at all. Like, it was, and then he came back and he said, like, oh, all right, no, it was.
So you thought he was just dragging him?
Yeah, I thought he was just dragging him. What you mean?
I think giving your opinion because of some place you was at and talking about what you observed is not messy in no way, shape, or form.
Well, the TDE manager,
I guarantee you, I guarantee you. I can do that and I can make it messy. Like, it's ways that you can do that.
Giving your opinion
about something and making it messy is ways that you do that.
You know why? Because you are messy and you package it and it's called Just With The Mess.
Okay, even when I'm not being just with the mess, I still can make
certain things
is
real.
Yeah, period. But yeah, at first I did, but then I'm like, all right, whatever.
But they said it came from someplace else, right? Didn't TDE say they felt like it came through something else?
Yeah, well, there's been So TDE manager Hollywood spoke out and said that he basically feels like Kai is just upset because he couldn't get into the suite that TDE had at the Super Bowl or whatever. So they basically are trying to say, like, either somebody's pushing him to say this stuff or he's upset because he couldn't get into a suite.
Why can't people just have an opinion? Art is subjective. Everybody's gonna have different opinions about people's art. Some people love the performance. Some people didn't like the performance. Some people don't even care. That's just the world we live in.
Yeah.
And look, and for record, when you ain't effing with something, you booing it. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't quiet. They was quiet. Quiet is better than booing. Understand that.
That is true.
If they don't F with it, all right, we listening. We okay, because we don't really know this. We don't know none of this music. We're looking forward to knowing everything at Super Bowl. Is usually like a party, like a concert. Cool. We don't know this, so we quiet.
And clearly, Kendrick did a lot of things right, because he's got the #1 album in the country this week. So 230,000 copies. Those are first week numbers. He's gonna have, I think, three of the #1, 2, and 3 song in the country this week. Like, he
Streams
won.
going crazy.
Yeah.
And he sold out them apple bottom jeans boots with the fur.
Yeah, exactly. He won.
Wrapping up, y'all.
Hip hop took over Super Bowl, and that was just with the mess. Charlemagne, we give it a donkey too.
Well, there you had, you guys. Now, you know that stuff is bad when Charlemagne becomes the voice of reason. When Charlemagne becomes the voice of reason, despite his dislike for a certain person, that he would go to any lengths to push a narrative. When he is like, listen, hold up, you guys. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. When that opinion involves Kendrick, who happens to be Drake's nemesis, Drake, who Charlemagne does not like with a passion, I think they're beginning to realize, and some of you were saying earlier on when I was telling you that these big media personalities being blatantly biased and being all emotional and all, personal when it comes to Drake is not helping Kendrick in any way. You guys were like, Ebro is not affiliated to Kendrick. How dare you say that? It's not, Ebro is not Kendrick. I get it. But the narrative that is around is that, well, the industry is behind the Kendrick and Drake beef, or the industry is amplifying the Kendrick and Drake beef because of their own, issues with Drake. So when major people that have influence on the industry as a whole come and become too personal, too emotional, too biased, of course, it's going to feed into the narrative that Kendrick is doing all of this on behalf of the industry. Like, what can you not get? I'm saying the likes of Ebro and Charlemagne the God, who have these public platforms, who have these platforms that have been viewed as the major legitimate platforms for hip-hop that are capable of representing hip-hop even when it comes to meetings in corporates. When they so blatantly take these things personal and make this beef personal, it discredits Kendrick Lamar. Do you guys understand? Like, I don't understand what's so difficult to get. I'm not saying Kendrick sent these men, but if already there is a narrative that is flying around that is saying he's doing all of this on behalf of the industry and given all these platforms that are being given to him to perform a diss track, and the disregard for how sensitive the PDF word is, and then Ebro comes on here and starts talking about Drake is a sickness, or why is Drake dating multiple people, or this and that. Like, it's not a good look, Ebro. Stop it. And if you guys are saying that the intention of Kendrick is to out Drake for being a culture vulture or whatever like that, these people are going against that agenda. These people are going against that, movement of trying to cleanse the culture, as you guys like to call it. Because now when you're talking about this man dating and partying and stuff like that, when we have Future, that you guys are saying Future is part of the culture, but Future is not getting criticism. But now Ebro is basing the argument on Drake's lifestyle. It does not make any sense. It does not help anyone's case. Oh my God. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, you guys. The NFL, allegedly people are saying that NFL has issued an apology to Lil Wayne after the horrible performance that Kendrick Lamar put at the Super Bowl. Now, I will say that I am one person who does feel like there's a push of the industry when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, but this entirely is not true. Okay? Because this apology that these publications are now writing today, well, they are not recent. They are not after the Super Bowl. They are making it seem like the only reason why NFL is apologizing is because Kendrick put out a bad show. That's not it. Because the so-called apology that they're talking about is from Lil Wayne's friend, who even admitted to being Lil Wayne's brother before saying whatever he had to say. So obviously people are now spinning and switching the narrative, but the apologies were offered way before the Super Bowl performance, and the NFL is not apologizing because Kendrick put out a bad show, quote unquote, but they were just apologizing because of the uproar that was on the internet, where people felt like Lil Wayne deserved that. Okay, I just had to put that out there. Okay, and as much as I do admit that the industry is there and that, but sometimes people do twist words, and I do feel like these publications have done just that. It had nothing to do with Kendrick's performance. It had everything to do with the uproar that went down on the internet about Lil Wayne being more deserving. And it was pre-performance, pre-Kendrick Lamar performance. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, you guys, we're going to be talking about, Akademiks. Akademiks is out there going back and forth with his callers, when it comes to this entire, Kendrick Lamar being the number one person now, saying that he's not going to be able to maintain the number one top position once the beef with Drake kind of dies down. And, that's what Akademiks is claiming. Now, do I think that is completely wrong? I will say that time will tell, because right now to crown him the number one when it's still embedded in the beef, it's a little bit too soon. So let's see how everything is going to play out. If he's able to stay on top like that, of course, he will be number one. But right now, it's a little bit too soon. I mean, even the anticipation, like when it comes to the Super Bowl performance, a lot of people did tune in to see if he was going to say the PDF word. Okay, a lot of people did tune in to see if he was going to perform Not Like Us. A lot of people did tune in because of the beef. They wanted to know, what is he going to say? Is he going to continue the Drake beef and stuff like that? And even up to now, people are still interested in the beef. And I have to agree with Akademiks right now that if Drake says he's putting out an album and it's not a love album like this one that's coming out with Party Next Door, of course people would tune in because they would want to hear what he has to say. Is he going to throw some shots at Kendrick and stuff like that? So outside the beef is where the proof is of who the true star is. Okay, when the beef sort of evaporates and goes away, that's when we're gonna see how much of a superstar each one of them is. Okay, so I will insert what Akademiks had to say, but let me also point out that Drake on his Finsta decided to post Ebro getting marinated and cooked, and I'm not mad at him for clapping back. I mean, if these grown men can go 24/7 talking about him, he can post a meme about these people. And I dislike it because when he responds one time, everybody goes like, look at Drake, he's so corny. How dare he responds to Ebro? How dare he responds to Joe Biden? But these are the same guys who are calling him sick. Like, if you were in his position, imagine grown men fantasizing about you unaliving yourself. Like, is that not ridiculous to you? Like, is it that deep? Is it that deep, really? That's crazy. So honestly, I'm not mad at him for cooking Ebro because Ebro did way too much. And everyone who does not see it, you are a problem. You are a sickness. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I will insert Akademiks, and I don't think I'm going to be coming back after that. So that being said, thank you very much, you guys, for watching. And thank you very much for making it this far. Please do subscribe if you do like. I'm not forcing you. Okay, here's the thing. I don't force anyone to subscribe. If you do not feel like this is your content, quietly unsubscribe and move on and move forward. You trust me, you don't have to announce your departure, especially if you never announce your arrival. I won't notice, I promise you. And I won't follow you at your home to ask you, why didn't you tell me that you are unsubscribed? I would never do that, you guys. I honestly would never do that. I would love for you to subscribe, but if you do choose not to, I will never follow you to your Instagram, DMs, whatever, asking you up. I promise you, don't burden yourself with announcing your departure. Anyway, I'm blabbering. Until my next one, see you.
They're gonna look at you and compare your performances with the pop stars of this world who are global. These guys who go on all these, like, now you're in the realm, like Drake has been literally being compared to Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, and all of these like international stars. Kendrick is finally there, right? Now, I don't think he could maintain this level, right? Now, granted, I'll give you that, predicting that another artist gets a song like Not Like Us, and I don't say he needs to get that, but will he be the guy who's a consistent hit maker? You know how many other hits Drake had till he had to do it, till he got a God's Plan, and even when he got God's Plan, he got to do it again. Like when you're the guy that we're saying Kendrick is, you don't just drop Not Like Us and then you gotta start doing it. You gotta go drop a One Dance, then you gotta go drop a Kiki Do You Love Me, then you gotta go drop a Hotline Bling and you gotta drop these songs and be that person. You
want Drake? You want Kendrick to now be an R&B?
No.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to stop so I can ask you, because you're trying to conflate the popularity of this diss record, knowing that it's not even just about the audio. It's not just about the song. It's
the number one artist
surrounding it.
It's not about being an R&B nigga. Number one artist in hip hop runs the charts. That's how it goes, and it runs the charts outside of battles. They're number one. When 50 was number one, he was number one. When Kanye was number one, he ran the charts. Number one. Hit after hit after hit. What I'm saying is that I get it. Maybe not a song to the level of Not Like Us, but if he's not consistently giving us top charting songs, without him having a song or a project tied to Drake, how the number one? In whose mind? Because he want to rap. Pusha T supposedly beat Drake. He number one? So what does number one mean to y'all? Define number one.
Pusha T is not a Pusha T is not a hit. Like, this is what I'm saying.
Hold on. Wait. Let me ask you a question.
This moment.
All right. No, wait, hold on. Wait. Let me ask you a question. So I agree with you that Pusha T is not a hit snake. Isn't the conversation, which I even acknowledge, that what this battle, when y'all keep saying funeral, it's not only people think it's a decline of Drake. People think that Kendrick is taking the reins. The reins of what? It's not just rap skills. No. The reins of what? Be number one, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
What does number one mean to you? I will grab some water, but I can sit here because it's on speaker.
Exactly what you just said. He took the charge. He's doing it right now. All his songs is in the charts. He's doing it. He's number one. Like, what is
I don't know. Hold on, K. I don't even, because this is a point I'm looking to. It ain't just about the numbers, bro. Like, he can do the numbers. He's proven that he's done it before, right? He's proven that he can do pop charting records with Damn. He's also leaned back into that with GNX, even though it's 2017, I believe.
So he ain't really pop like that since 2017.
Well, because he took a 5-year break, and I'm not
he ain't
making excuses for. He took a 5-year break. He released Mr. Morale, which was not meant for the charts at all. It was a very personal record, right? And then he came back with this diss, and then with GNX, which was more. It was more of a party record, right? It was West Coast tinge, all of that. Which I think somebody was in here saying this earlier. It's more regional, so maybe it doesn't have the capabilities to go as global as other things, but still, he got some hits on that. Still, so my point is he's proven, and that. Thank you, Wale, and that. So he's proven time and time again that he has the capability to make hits. But I don't want Act to come in here and make this narrative like just because he beat Drake in a battle and Drake was the hit he now has to take his place as the hit, because they're two different artists. They're two entirely different artists.
Be number one. Hold on. Be number one is number one. I don't care who is number one.